What is the difference between self-care and self-indulgence? This is a very modern question, right? I mean, here we are in 2020 and the world is in a fair bit of chaos. I don't think I need to tell you that. And the chaos is not just large scale, right? There's the large scale chaos, there's the personal chaos of changing lives. And this can be incredibly personal. This can be incredibly painful. It's political, it's social, it's economic, and then there's all the effects on our relationships and on our conversations, families, friendships, all of that. So in the midst of all of this, can we look at what it means to take care of ourselves in a very positive light, in a light that's not just self-indulgence, and in a way that actually helps the larger situation as well. So, from presenting this very particular perspective coming from the mindful communication teachings of Susan Chapman, we see self-care, deep self-care, real self-care, as a fundamental mechanism that needs to be taken care of. That in fact, if we take care of ourselves in a very powerful way, in a very proactive way, in a very personal way, we unwind the seeds of negativity. So this has to do with the fact that when we reach a certain level of emotional arousal where we're just at our absolute limit, that is the tipping point. We are at a tipping point. And we're very, very close to shutting down. And shutting down takes us into darker places. Shutting down takes us into aggression, hatred. Shutting down takes us into numbing out and becoming oblivious. Shutting down takes us into power games. I am going to dominate this person, and I don't care what it takes to do it. All of these things. We know these patterns. Shutting down can actually take us into desperation and grasping. I have to get this person to give me approval. It can take us into arrogance. There's all these patterns. So there's all these varieties of ways that we shut down, but what they all have in common is that we hit a tipping point of overwhelm and we didn't properly take care of ourselves. And this is a very dangerous moment. I want to actually point this out. This is not just personal. Because once I shut down, who knows what I'm going to go do? Who knows what I'm going to go say to someone? It's 2020, for goodness sake. We can get on the internet and in 30 seconds, we can affect 1,000 people. Right? Now, I want to point out that it's 2020 and we can affect 1,000 people for good as well as for ill. And this has to do with the fact that this tipping point goes both directions. So self-care in that moment on the tipping point isn't just preventing harm. It's actually the way that we open back up to our full self, our full wisdom, our full compassion, our full sensitivity. It's our ability to articulate ourselves. All of these things are available if we are able to pull back from that tipping point. So in this sense, self-care, and I'm talking about positive self-care. I'm not talking about drinking yourself to blackout. Positive self-care is feeding the world what it needs. Feeding myself what I need is feeding the world what it needs. Now further, I want to say that learning how to feed myself and nurture this, this situation over here teaches me little things about how to nurture the larger situations. What do others need? If I learn how to bring myself back from that tipping point, then I can learn a little something about how to bring others back as well. Okay, so I think this is quite different than self-indulgence, hiding out, not engaging, just tuning out the world. That's completely different. We're talking about feeding yourself so you can become strong, so that even in your own ways, whatever ways, that's different for every person, you will have the strength to help in the ways that the world needs help right now.